It seems the Monster Hunter series is finally coming into its own. Make no mistake, Monster Hunter Tri has its frustrations, simply because many of its aspects are stubbornly stuck in the past. But in spite of its issues, there's something incredibly rewarding about teaming up with some buddies and taking down a gigantic monster towering above you. The online play is where it's at here, and there's a lot to be said for that remarkable moment when you've been chopping away at some slithering beast and it finally goes down. You end up with awesome goodies to make new armor and weapons out of, along with a great sense of accomplishment. After all, you just felled an enormous beast after a long power struggle. Some online oddities and tacked-on motion controls dull the experience a bit, but this time, Capcom has made Monster Hunter a lot more fun than before. If you've written off Monster Hunter before, Tri is your chance to finally head back with confidence and test the waters. So if you're not familiar with the Monster Hunter series, let's start with a quick rundown of Tri. There's no real story binding your offline adventure together, just a loose outline regarding a village besieged by a giant sea-dwelling nightmare. It's your job to take on random monster-killing missions and work towards taking down this crazy beast. You'll head into a variety of absolutely wonderful-looking environments, from deserts to snowy cliffs to murky swamps. In fact, one of the first things you'll notice about Monster Hunter Tri is how good it looks. Your armor and weapons are nicely detailed and environments look terrific, but it's the fantastic animations that really stand out. Each monster you encounter, whether it's the little Jaggies or the gigantic Barra, moves with exactly the right weight and speed. Actually, monster behavior in general is possibly the game's greatest delight. There's something awesomely authentic about the way they limp about when close to death, and the calls they make to lure out friendly creatures to fight at their sides. These guys are the real deal. They simply act like you would expect a great monster under attack to act. But you aren't there to watch them, you're there to kill them. And the big ones are not pushovers. It takes a good bit of time to bring a great monster down, and it isn't easy. You've got to pay close attention and have a good number of potions and other items like traps and bombs to make it easier on you. On normal quests, you face a time limit, and the first time you face a big beast, you might take him down as the clock is close to expiring. But what a rush it is when he finally goes down. It feels incredibly rewarding, especially after giving chase across marshes and underwater. Indeed, underwater battles are a great new feature in Monster Hunter Tri, and many creatures are amphibious, battling you on land and in the water. The gorgeous-looking undersea battles are more methodical, but they're also less predictable. If you've played the series, even with the underwater battles, you do have more or less an idea of how combat feels. On the other hand, newcomers will need to get used to the combat quirks. A lot of animations take an insanely long time to play out, whether you're gulping down a potion, recovering from getting knocked back, or just patiently waiting for your combo to finish. If you're new to Monster Hunter, there is an adjustment period. You'll need to get accustomed to the timing and weigh the risks of the actions you want to take versus the benefits. This isn't a game in which pressing a button always means that what you want to happen is going to happen right at that moment. A little creature named Cha-Cha will hang with you in the offline game, buffing you with dances, gathering stuff, and helping you take down your foes, big and small alike. But the best help you can get is online, where you and up to 3 other players can join up and take on the more challenging quests, all while collecting goodies that can't be found as easily in the single-player game. There are some weirdnesses here to get used to. If you just want to group up with friends, you'll have to jump through a few hoops to figure out how to do it, and even the simple act of heading out on a mission together seems a bit convoluted. But once you figure it out, it's pretty simple to find some friendly folks and go hunt some monsters. This is where the real meat of the game lies. Getting 4 hunters together using their giant hammers, swords, bowguns, and switch axes makes for great entertainment. You can communicate with each other using WeSpeak, but few people seem to opt for voice chat and plug in USB keyboards instead. The interface isn't the best you'll ever see, but the game is straightforward enough that you'll usually know what you need to know at any given moment. You can also pair up with another player and fend off beasties in an arena, which is also great fun. It also puts you in control of a powerful stock character, giving you an idea of the awesome armor and weapon that might be waiting for you in the future. Online play's main oddity is the lack of small monster synchronization. You'll watch your teammates flail about as if they're attacking thin air, but the smaller creatures they're attacking aren't in the same place as yours are. This is a strange and kind of nonsensical setup because you're supposed to be teaming up to fight monsters together, not to watch your friends fight invisible monsters. But this is actually a small issue since the gigantic creatures that put up a fuss are the main focus, and the sync issue doesn't seem to be a problem when the big ones are involved. And such battles they are, full of monsters snarling and blades flying everywhere, and plenty of tension. Looking for a moment when it's safe to sharpen your blade, or setting up a trap and capturing an animal with a few tranquilizer bombs, those are the kinds of moments that you just don't see in other games. But when it's over, you might have the materials you need for that helmet you want the blacksmith to forge and be one step closer to earning a new piece of furniture to put in your room in the offline village. There's always the tantalizing notion of equipping something more awesome just out of arm's reach. And when you finally get that claw or the coin that you needed, you feel elated. Whether you're new to Monster Hunter or an old-timer, you'll definitely want to use a Classic Controller or pick up the package that includes the new Classic Controller Pro. But even if you have a Classic Controller, adding a monster to your monster list involves opening a particular menu, pointing the Wii Remote at the screen, hovering the reticle over the monster you want to catalog, and dragging the reticle into the catalog. This was an absolutely awful idea, though fortunately, you won't miss a lot by simply avoiding this task altogether. So obviously, Monster Hunter Tri has a few strange problems, but what it also has is a great sense of adventure, and this cool aura of authenticity about it. Gigantic anglerfish with spikes and huge lizards wouldn't be easy to take down, and they'd put up a nasty fight if you tried to do it. And so it is in Monster Hunter Tri. You're in unfriendly territory here, but I mean that in a good way. When you hear the battle music kick in and you know there's a big monster nearby, your pulse will rise, and you know that once again you'll be fighting as though your life depends on it.